So he had all the bad girls. And then back then, though, in the club days back then, there was so many more, to me, beautiful looking women that were coming out.
Absolutely.
Just so many beautiful. And he had always like 5, 6, 7, 8 girls.
I don't know.
When Addis was taking them to dinner, they always had bottles to drink, and it was like a win-win for them. Like, I mean, it's not hard to get beautiful women to come out when it's a free night.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's a night of fucking free. You're not spending $1. You're getting picked up. Your cabs are being paid. You're fucking getting fucking free drinks. You're getting lit. You're getting taken to breakfast. Like, these fucking women had it good.
I mean, they still have it good.
They still have it good.
I think
back then it was a lot. It was like the beautiful women were outweighing what I see. She's all right. There was a lot of more.
Right. It's like if you were to spend $1,000 back then, it's like you look at who you with and you're like, it's worth it. Nowadays, it's like, no, it ain't. Like this is what I got to work with. It is what it is.
Listen, girl, I'm not taking you out today because my car note. Leave me alone. It's different now. Adi's definitely was the man back then. Like, he did have a lot of. It was listen. Even myself back then.
I remember seeing you a lot of beautiful women.
I always
too.
had bad women around me, beautiful, sexy looking women, and I was a different type of guy, because even when I had my girlfriend, I brought her around. When I was with this girl, Mallory, guys always said, like, yo, I don't know how you do it. How is it that you be with your girl and you're picking up these other girls, and then you had the table?
You were like a little hoe.
And it wasn't that I was a hoe, because I was loyal to my girl.
Wait, hold on. So you were picking up other girls.
Mm-hmm. No,
but you were loyal to your girl.
No, I'm saying picking up like, hey, I'm gonna pick you up to come to the club.
Oh, okay.
In my car.
So
you were giving to them, picking them up.
Okay, so you were giving rides to girls.
Right, and I would bring them to the club. So I had, the 4 or 5 girls sitting there with my girl with the table while I was going to DJ and all that. And I've always been surrounded by beautiful women. Like, you had to. That was just a thing back then.
Absolutely.
Like, you couldn't get into a club and you couldn't go with one pretty girl and not to body shaming. You couldn't just be with 2 fat girls. You was gonna have the problem getting in.
Yeah, no.
Like, the doorman was not having it.
I can't do that right now. I'm sorry. Cancel me if you want, but I'm not doing it.
Like, with your girl and bring a bunch of pretty girls with you?
No, with 2 fat girls.
No, because there's some girls. Listen, I know guys that, I know a lot of promoters that pretend to work when their girls around. It was the funniest thing. Like, when that girl wasn't there, they were dancing with girls and they were feeling it and they were going in and having fun. And that girl would there, they'll be at the front talking about, make sure everybody pays. And I'm like, yo, bro, you don't want to be at the table party now? They were like, no, my girl's here. I was like, oh, so now you want to act like a promoter today because your girl say you want to make sure the door's running right, the line is good, say that the DJ's on time, that the mixes are great. But when your girl's not here, you're the first one on the table with the bottle, spraying champagne on everybody. It would be the funniest thing, yo.
It was a good time, though. It was a great time. Anyway, so we're talking about the girls and going into the club.
The
and
beautiful
people
girls in the club and being surrounded.
Especially the ones that don't pay.
Listen, pretty girls do not pay, man. They got it good.
So you're saying that all pretty girls don't pay?
Yes. A great percentage of beautiful women that go to club do not pay. Because that's the element where you drive the club. You want beautiful women in there. You want all women in there.
Right.
And when you have beautiful women like these, I know restaurants these high-end restaurants that they even hire or they have promoters. There's a lot of big restaurants like the Tile Groups and things like that. When they started with like that. They started with big promoters that will come to the restaurant and they will bring like 4, 5, 6 hot chicks, model-looking women,
right?
And they will sit there and they will get free meals. And it was a look because now the people that are coming to eat, they see a table over here of 5 girls looking good. You see a table over here with 2 guys with 8 girls looking good, and you think like, oh, this is the place to be. They don't know they're eating for free.
I need to go there because
like, and it gives it's ambiance. It's chalked up to it's ambiance.
I like the way you pronounce that, like the way you say it. It's kind of like it makes me want to go there. Although we're not talking about a specific place,
and
but
listen,
I want to go there.
The restaurant. Listen, these restaurants are beautiful restaurants. The food is great.
But you gotta pronounce it with the ambiance.
To catapult it to where you want it fast,
Yes.
you would need those elements, that ambiance, in order so when people go there, because I know if I go there,
You're gonna get the ambiance.
right? If I go there and I'm sitting there, me, you go there, we're going to eat. I'm going to look around and I'm going to say, hold on a second here. Did you see this table over here?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And listen, I know I've been to restaurants where I sit and I see a table of nice looking women, and I'll say, hey, can I sit on the next table right over there? And I want to sit there because I know somehow throughout that conversation of us talking and listening to what they say, I'm gonna find a way
It's gonna click.
to say something in order so I can engage with them to see how I can now benefit from this situation. Somebody's getting my number here, somebody I'm gonna talk to, and most importantly, I'm gonna invite you to my club.
So how do you feel about there was an article that came out. Actually, I think TMC also picked it up. There was this girl that was suing a nightclub because they didn't let her in because she had a little extra meat on her.
What that means? She came with groceries?
No, she was fat.
Oh man! Like I said, listen, we don't. Unfortunately, just so people could be clear here,
Yes.
because it's not about body shaming and all that, because there's beauty in all.
It's
in
about
all
reality
colors and all sizes.
Yeah, of course.
The thing when it comes to nightlife, especially back in the days, it's not so much now. It has changed drastically. In certain locations, there's still some little night clubs here and there that you go to in the city that are a little bougie, that the fat guy's not going to be able to get in, and if he does get in, it's because he might be spending that $3,000-$4,000 on the table.
Yes.
And he's got money, or he's a financier, or somebody that's known.
But the truth of the matter is that nobody cares if the dude is fat. All they care is they're going to spend money.
The crazy thing, not even the hot girl.
Exactly.
As long as that guy's paying, he could have grease seeping out of his fingernails.
He could have 2 cheeseburgers in his pocket and shit.
Right, and be like, hold on a second, boy, I'm hungry. Yeah, exactly. And she'd be like, nah, he's cool.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. He's funny. He carries cheeseburgers.
And if you fat with no money,
no, you're not going in.
you're a stalker. Why you keep looking at me?
Creep.
The cheeseburger out your
Exactly.
pocket.
Nasty.
So the thing is,
So do you think that plays with women as well?
no, not all the time. We're talking about.
The girls going in the club with their when they got cheeseburgers in their pockets.
Listen, back then, clubs were not lines. They weren't lines. They were just a crowd of people there, and you had a doorman, and the promoter or the venue itself had a prominent doorman or doorwoman or a gay man or a gay woman that was there that was actually picking. Like, you're good, you're not.
Yes.
And they were shady about it.
I recall that.
Like, super shady. Like, you could be right in front of them and not look up to par, and they would just, like, they magically blinked right when they had to. They were like, you.
Wasn't there in New York, there was like this gay dude that was like really famous or something?
Ken.
Yeah, so he was really.
Kenny
I think you worked with him in the past, right?
Well, when I was going to back in my dancing days,
Yes.
he was the doorman back then. And I got in because I was a dancer, and he knew I was a dancer because I was with the dancers. So he was like, yo, you good? You could come in. And I was with my sister. My sister was older than me, so she took me to the clubs back, because I was in the clubs. It's crazy how back then I was in the nightclubs when I was 15.
Yeah, because they understood the balance of, like, we need the dancers, we need the dude that's going to be in the circle making a vibe, we need the pretty chicks, we need the money spenders.
Right. There was really no money spender. There was people with money that they weren't. Bottle popping wasn't a thing. That you had maybe 1 or 2 guys that they got Moet Chandon back then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The White Star.
Do you think the dancing was more important than the bottle popping, right?
It was about the dances and the DJs, because remember, back then, Madonna would go to the club, the tunnels, and she found her dances by going there and watching the people rocking the circle.
That's insane.
And then she would pick and say, hey, come with me, and people heard the stories of Madonna leaving in the limos with guys and this and that, and mostly dancers. We know J-Lo. J-Lo was with a dancer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think J-Lo was with everybody, but anyway.
Yeah, well, you won't be invited to none of her movie premieres. So the point is that's how it was. So it was like that, So going back to, the women in nightclub, beautiful women were always the thing. Like, if you're in a group of girls and it's 4 pretty girls, you were getting in with no problem. And they didn't mind comping you because they wanted that. So the doorman had the power to charge you or to give you complimentary admission because he was the dictator, he was the ringmaster.
Hitler.
Right. He was the ringmaster of the night.
Yes.
And at the end of the night, the promoter knew that if the promoter or the owner walked around the club and he felt a certain way, he knew to pinpoint it to the doorman. It's your fault because you're the guy out there and you're the one that's picking the people in here. I didn't like what I saw in here today. Or I loved what I saw here today. So it wasn't body shaming. It was a look, because Nightlife was about, I always even tell my staff now, Nightlife is a fantasy.
Yes.
You go out and you want to feel good. Even when you're not feeling good, you want to go out to feel better. When you're feeling great, you want to be at your greatest while you're...
Nightlife back then was basically the Instagram of today. It's not reality. This is where you
live TikTok.
Yeah, like TikTok.
It was live TikTok.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how it was. You went there to celebrate, to have fun, to party. You was drinking, you was having fun, you was meeting people, you were going home with people. Like, it was a great time.
So now I understand that yeah, the promoters and the doorman with the picking of the pretty people, the good looking people and whatever. What about the DJs when they will come in with the pretty girls? Did that play the
no, of course. And let me say something. Even if also with the doorman, even if it wasn't considered to what somebody's preference is good looking, if you had a style, that worked as well.
Yes.
If you had a funky style, if you came with your hair wild and something that somebody be like, what the fuck? You know, the doorman saw that and appreciated that and said, you're good. Because you're going to be something that people are going to look at, they're going to see, they're going to talk about. It's going to create ambiance.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's the ambiance. So,
yes.
And that was part of it. So even if you was somebody that maybe was like overweight and you had a funky style, there was a chance you was getting in. You would get in.
A girl or a guy?
Both.
Okay.
Both. You would get in. And you couldn't be the regular plain Jane guy and think that you wore a big Nietzsche thing. They were gonna be like, that's not style to us. That's what everybody's wearing. That's not what we're looking for.
So do you think that girl that's doing that lawsuit, I forgot the name of the club, which is irrelevant. But the girl,
what was her lawsuit about?
That she didn't get in because they discriminated her because she was overweight.
I mean, it's not saying that she doesn't have a fight there, you know, because technically if you're open to the public, that's the public, you know, so you would let that in. If there is some clubs that they put signs saying we have the right to be selective, you know, they have the right to. So if they don't want you in there, now if you're gonna file a lawsuit on that, then why you're not doing the work on so you don't have to feel like that? Because to me, even me right now, me personally, I could say I have more weight on me than I've ever had as I got older. You know, I was always skinny. I'm not going to go sue a club. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, what can I do to be more healthier?
Alan, can you cue in the sad music? Thanks.
You know, what can I do to be more healthier? Because I could be more healthier. I don't need this extra weight because I know it's not positive for me. You know what I'm saying? So there's a chance that I might go tomorrow to some upscale club and they might look at me and say, you can't get in.
Talking about that topic in particular, we just had a sad loss in my opinion. It was a very sad loss because not only was he a person that I knew, I can't say he was like a really phenomenal friend of mine, but the interactions that I did have with him was a very pleasant and good one. Fatman Scoop, rest in peace.
Oh yes, absolutely.
He passed away this past weekend. For the DJ community, I think I can speak for majority of us. He was a very influential individual. If you're a DJ and you didn't play Fatman Scoop's records,
Fatman Scoop.
You're not a DJ. It doesn't matter what genre of music. I don't care.
One party. I don't care. Caucasian party,
Habibi,
Latin party. I played Fatman Scoop.
Yes, his voice was so iconic, and that record "Be Faithful." It was just a record that even to today, it's like, oh, the party's suffering a little bit. Let me just throw some Fatman Scoop just to create this vibe, and
it will always bring the party from here to here.
Yeah, so it's to me, I think it's a huge loss. Like I felt it. I can't say that I felt it like in my heart in the sense of like, you know, because I'm not family, and again, most importantly, condolences to his family. But I did feel it in the industry. It was just like a big impact in the DJ community that I was like, wow, ouch, that one hurt.
And he was a performer. You know, he would get on that stage, and hence, you know, that's how he died.
He was an incredible performer.
And he died on the stage. And you know, listen, if you're gonna go and it's your time to go, like people say, you know, it's your time to go. he went doing
Did you see
what he loved to do.
Did you see the video when he?
I did. When he went behind the DJ booth and
it's incredible that his last words, if I'm not mistaken, they were "Everybody put your hands up" or something like that. I was like, wow, your last words. That was incredible. That was incredible.
And who know? And you know, that being said, you know, I always tell people, you know, be mindful. Like I'm saying, you know, even by myself, I need to be mindful of what we're doing as we get older. And he was not young. You know, he was in his early 50s.
53, if I'm not mistaken.
We don't know what exactly it was that health risk he had that pertain to.
But I think it's easy to assume that his name says it all.
Right. And he is skinnier than what he was originally was. So it's like he didn't die then when he was fat. When he was super fat man Scoop, he died now just living the name out. When I'm saying he was. It looked like he was on that path of doing better for himself to do. Because remember, he's a big guy, so it's only. But
yes.
So I know friends that. How skinny can you really get before it starts looking weird on you because you're that tall? You know what I'm saying? So he did look like he was. It was either he was going through something, or health wise that made him lose the weight, or he was going to that path, and it's a loss. It is a loss because you're gonna lose out on some future music that he's capable of still making. Because there's still people for some reason now in the music industry, there's people that are older that are making still great records. You got somebody like Fat Joe that's still out there putting out hits.
Yes,
still putting out hits, and you know, and he has to be. I know Fat Joe for like 30 years. I know him forever. You know, hung out with him. I know him personally, and he's still. No matter what album he puts out, there's always one or two records that still are going to be timeless. That you're always gonna sing and all that. And look at him. He was known as Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? And I know him from when he was big. Everybody knows him that he wasn't Big Pun big, and he was big.
He was Fat Joe,
right? He was Fat Joe. And now, you know, look at how he is. He was conscious about his health. You know, he's taking care of himself a lot better. And I will tell everybody, be mindful.
Yeah,
you know?
you got to take care of your health. It's extremely important. I mean, there's a lot of DJs out there, and just people in general. Like, forget the whole DJ thing. People in general, you know, like the nightlife scene, the whole drinking out of your mind and these hangovers and just living life like crazy and eating crap. You know, you got to pay attention to all these things.
But there's things for that. You know, there's milk thistle you could take. You know, you could drink milk thistle tea in order to help your liver. So if you are somebody that's enjoying your life and drinking because you're traveling and you're on a yacht and you're drinking and you go to a club or a bar or speakeasy, nobody's telling you not to live your life. And also balance it with taking the nutrients that your body needs.
And you also got to exercise too, man.
And exercise and have a good mind. Like, there's always a balance and everything. You can't just drink 5 days out the week and then not create no kind of balance of that, and then eat bad, and then you're gonna grow up to have these problems, and then when they die, they're gonna say, "Oh, poor Joe." Well, you know what? Joe was tripping. Joe was flipping. Joe was not taking care of himself. You know, it's just what it is. You know.
Yeah. So, story about Fatman Scoop and I was celebrating my birthday one time in New Jersey, and I hit him up. I'm like, "Yo, Scoop, I'm having a birthday party." At that point in time, he did a record with me called "Put Your Drinks Up." That was very well known in the industry. And he actually featured on that song alongside Cardinal Official. And
the reggae artist.
Yeah, he was signed to Akon, which I was signed to Akon at the moment.
Right.
And so he comes to the club, and I'm like, oh, snap! Like, Fatman Scoop showed up to my party. Like, that's incredible. As a DJ,
he's a good guy like that.
Yeah, as a DJ, I'm like, holy crap! Fatman Scoop just showed up to my party, and I didn't have to pay him. I just told him that I was having a party.
You did do a record with him. Oh, is this before you did the record?
No, that was the record was popping already.
Oh, okay.
And he just showed up, and I'm like, okay,
that wouldn't
cool.
play a part why he showed up because you did the record with him.
I mean, yeah, but I wasn't expecting it. Okay. That's my point. And then right there and then he goes like, so what time we performing? And I'm like, what? Like, you performing?
Oh, nice.
And then he's like, yeah, we're performing. So you got everything planned out? I'm like, dude, I didn't even know that you were even coming. Like, I'm
laid off, yes, of course.
I'm still I was being mad honest. I'm like, I'm still shocked of the fact that you're here, but of course, let's do it. I mean, I was gonna perform anyway.
That's like Jay-Z coming to the club and telling me like, yo, I'm gonna sing this record. I might have the mic in my back there. Yo, no doubt, son. Yeah.
Listen, I get it, but we're two different type of people.
You gotta be quick.
So yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I start performing, and the plan is like, okay, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna do my part, and then I'm gonna bring you out. So I come out, I'm doing my thing, and then I bring him out. And when we start doing the song, like, cause I just said a couple of things, right? Like, this is my first, like, I think this was like my third time performing, and I didn't know what I was doing. So he comes out, he comes with this incredible energy. Like, it's just the minute he opened that mic, it was like
He just rolled on the stage.
Yeah. I mean, he rolled on the stage. I think like 3 dudes came carrying or whatever. So he starts talking and he has his energy. So I'm like, oh, so now I'm feeding off his energy. And I just remember him tapping me like kind of like to like, you know, bring me to his level. But I didn't know what to do because his energy was so overwhelming. And another thing was that I was so out of shape that I was running out of breath. Like, I was like, how?
You're not even the big one on the stage.
Right, like, exactly. He's the fat man Scoop. I'm the regular man. Like, I don't have fat in front of my name. So I'm like, how the hell I'm running out of breath and this guy's not? And I never understood that part. But then again, he has a lot of experience as far as like, controlling his breathing and all that stuff and whatever the case may be.
Talent.
And for all we know, he may do a lot of cardio. I don't know. And I know that I didn't do a lot of cardio. I didn't have stamina. So that taught me the following thing was, if you want to be performing on stage, you need to exercise. You need to build up your cardio. You need to learn how to breathe, run and start talking as you're running so that way you know how to control it, whatever. But that was mind-boggling to me, the fact that he was on stage and he gave such energy to the crowd, being so having that weight on him. That was incredible to me. But at the end of the day, like I said before, there's a lot of people that are not taking care of themselves, and we just need to be a little more conscious and mindful as far as the fact that we
be responsible.
Yeah, man.
You gotta be responsible.
Don't drink and drive, type of thing, But don't eat cheeseburgers and DJ at the same time, or don't smoke hookahs and DJ in one hand. You know what I mean? That's an up-down thing.
You're not gonna stop that.
Yeah, I mean, but it just doesn't look good, and most importantly, it's not good for your health. It doesn't work.
I mean, say that to all the hookeros out there. Because you have somebody like DJ Adonis, no matter where you see him, he's smoking a hookah while he's DJing, like some people.
I mean, that's a different conversation. What is a DJ and what is a performer? But,
oh, man, this guy right here.
But, going back to the whole,
AK-47 shots.
No. DJ Adonis is very respectful. He's a very
nice guy.
Well-known, and yeah, he's a nice guy. So I have nothing negative to say about him. But going back to the whole being mindful as far as what you eat and how you go about things, that also plays a part into the whole touring business. I was having a conversation earlier.
It could be stressful.
Yes, and a lot of people they don't know that touring takes a toll on you. Like, it's very, very difficult. Like, for example, last year, which it was with 2023, if I'm not mistaken, I think we did close to 40 shows in 60 days. We were doing tour buses, and it sounds like a lot of fun, which it is, but you really have to prepare yourself to do this, because it takes a lot from you. Not only mentally but physically. Doing a show back to back, like for example, like the most shows that we do when we were on tour last year with Romeo Santos, we would do 7 shows back to back. I'm talking about like in different states, 7 shows. Like, you do the show, take a shower at the venue, go to the bus, sleep, and when you wake up, you were in the underground parking lot of the next arena. So it was like a deja vu. That's the first thing. Sometimes it's kind of difficult for you to go do a set because you feel like you're DJing at the same place all over again, and it's like, do I do the same set? Is this the same people? It looks the same. Like, everything is the same, and you're like, what the hell? Like, do I even need to change my clothes?
Are you delirious at this point?
Are
you delirious at this point?
No, it becomes that. So
I think that maybe they need to bring a nutritionist on these tours.
Yes.
And all artists should have a nutritionist, and even for the band.
For example, there's a friend of mine that he's the drummer. I'm sorry, and he actually played for
Lady Gaga,
Katy Perry.
Okay.
And at the 360 tour that she did, was like that she did a.
Is that the one when she was like a robot?
No. The 360 was that she did a tour for a whole year every day. There was no days off.
Crazy.
So the way they did it.
That robot thing might be something to it then.
Right. So, so
Who does every day for 365
but the thing,
days?
but here's the great part about it. He was telling me that on tour they had a masseuse for everyone. They had a nutritionist.
Yeah.
The food was grade A.
Right.
The hotels were grade A.
Okay.
You know, there was never
That's
no.
what I'm talking about, Katy Perry. That's what happens when you kiss a girl and you like it.
Exactly. That was a good one. So
You know, women they into all that intricate stuff. It's the men that be a little off, and the women they'll make sure like, hey, let me get the masseuse.
I mean,
they're taking advantage of somebody's money. You see, this is what it is. They just always trying to get somebody. It's probably some man that had to put up all the money for this.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And they were like, no, we want the masseuse, we want the nutritionist, we want the manicurist, we want the pedicurist.
But
the
thing is that you may think like, okay, no, but you on tour, do you really need all of that or whatever?
Yes.
Like you do need all of that.
And it seems like Katy Perry's team got it.
But there's a big difference. They were doing they were doing a
360 days.
Yeah, 360 whatever
Granted.
days versus us that we would do seven shows and then we'll have like 3 days off and so on.
I'm saying the big artists, Chris Browns, let's say let's say the Drakes, the Chris Browns, the Katy Perrys.
I don't know about them because I don't know how they're doing it.
You will have to hear what I'm saying. The Lana Del Rey's, the Jay-Z's, the Beyonce, there's somebody like Romeo's not a small fish. He's a big fish.
He's a shark.
Right. He's a whale.
Yeah, he's a whale for
right.
sure.
You know, Jay-Z's a whale. Katy Perry's a whale. You know, and these are people that, and I'm assuming here that once they finish their tour, even if the tour is like 2, 3, 4 months, they making millions and millions of dollars. They are.
But if that's the way they want to run their business, at the end of the day, it's your choice whether you want to accept those terms or not.
That is true too. It's up to you. Because even for me, you know, being an operator, the owners that I deal with, they own multiple things. When I go to their restaurant, they make sure like Dave's here, make sure he's good. His money's no good here. You know what I'm saying? He's with us. You know what I'm saying? He runs my operation. You know what I'm saying? He makes sure my stuff is good. He brings money to the table. He's golden. So when I go to Julan's, I don't pay, not because I don't have the money. They pay me well enough to treat people. They treat me like, no. It's like going on tour. That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm on tour with them. So everything that they have, he owns a distribution company. If I need some hair products and I call him and I say, hey, I know you got this, and this. He's like, okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to send it to you. He's not telling me, yeah, that's $29.99. No, he's giving me whatever it is I need because I'm the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's taking care, and you look forward that everybody's doing this.
In a perfect world, yes, that's the way we would love it to be, but
this is why we talk about this shit. So those people that hear us and see what we're talking about, that yes, get on top of it. You know, stop being, it's just like, I guess it's even in the record business of why some artists are looking for ways like the Tory Lanez that now he decided to make his album NFT. Because it becomes a point now that it's like, all right, I'm doing all the work, I'm getting the music done, I'm singing it, I'm doing this and that, and then the record label wants to take 95%. I'm just making numbers up. They want to take 95% of it. Maybe you'll get more out of the artist if you do. Even if you took 60 and gave him 40, maybe he'll feel better.
But there's another side of things.
Yeah, tell me the other side, the thing that I might not know.
Yes, let's talk about Ice Spice. Ice Spice, Nicki Minaj was trying to sign her,
okay,
but she was trying to take 100% of her music catalog.
Nicki was trying to take 100%,
right?
okay.
But she was. But here's the pro on it.
Right.
She was gonna be the first artist that Nicki will sign. That's one thing.
Right.
Second of all, she was, if I'm not mistaken, she was gonna write, produce, and do everything. All she was gonna do, she was just gonna be the artist, rapping.
Nicki was gonna do everything. And Ice Spice was just gonna be the puppet.
And Nicki was gonna grab her whole clan, which if you
Barbies, all the Barbies.
Yeah, if you know the industry, Nicki has like it's like
strong following.
Yeah, her following is like a cult. It's crazy. So by default, they were gonna follow Ice Spice or whatever.
She was gonna pass the torch.
Right. She was gonna put her on that pedestal.
Right.
And Ice Spice turned it down. She was like, "No, I'm not doing that." And I was asked this question now because they were like, "Oh, that's so unfair, whatever. At least 90-10 or whatever." And
at least 90-10. Wow.
And I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I would have been Ice Spice, you know what I would have said? And they were like, "You would have said no." I'm like, "No, I would have said yes.
Okay.
And then they were like, why you would have said yes? And my reply would have been like, because the music is not the music is just a promotional item to promote yourself. Okay, so yes, the album could have made $10 million.
Okay.
And you're like, well, my God, like, I didn't get a piece of that $10 million. But the album became number one. You're the number one artist. You're super famous. Now what happens? Now you're gonna go on tour and you're gonna make $100 million. Most likely Nicki Minaj is not gonna get a percentage off of that. Maybe let's say she might get like 20% or whatever, depending on the deal. But in most cases, no.
Well, so the managing, like,
you're right, the managing company may get a
Right.
20%, which in her case is probably going to be Nicki Minaj camp.
right.
So now you're making $1 billion on touring. Then you're making another $1 million on endorsements. Now you're getting free food, free clothing, free access to all these things. So is it worth it or not to say, yeah, take this over here, but I'm going to gain all of this? And this is where ego and misunderstanding of the business comes into play. That is it's like sometimes you have to give to gain. And that's why there's a saying in the music business that says, you're never in the music business until you get fucked. And that's what it means. It's like you have to get fucked to make it. Meaning you have to lose something to
Figuratively and,
go there.
and literally.
yeah, exactly. Some people give the anus, like we all know, and some people just have to give a bigger piece of their finances. But you have to give something. Me personally, and I think you in the same boat as I, is like,
Depends what boat we're talking about, bro.
we're talking about the financial side. That is like, if right now you tell
So
me,
I could jump off and get on the jet ski.
absolutely, or the P Diddy boat, I get it.
No.
But but if you tell me right now, listen, Matt, you're making $100 a day right now. But if you sign with me and I take 80% of your business, you're gonna make $100,000 a day. That's a easy yes, because I'm never gonna see $100,000 a day. So yes, I can't just be stuck on stupid thinking, yeah, but I'm only making 100,000 when this person is making all
the thing
this.
See, I'm hearing you, and I'm thinking like that all sounds good until it doesn't happen.
What do you mean it doesn't happen?
Meaning that I think, and I can be wrong here, but I'm hearing it. If when somebody goes into these deals, you might say, hey, I'm going to take 100% of this, but you're going to make 80% of that, which is going to be bigger, right? Down the road. And what if that does not happen and now you sign to that and now you stuck there and that don't happen? And I think that sometimes that might be the factor that's problematic for a lot of the people, that they get sold this dream and they give up all this and they signed the paperwork already, and now they stuck in what is called the contract, and then down the line what was promised doesn't come into fruition, because there's a lot of artists, there's a lot of record labels, or even when you hear about Diddy, how he shelved a lot. I've noticed that they shelf a lot of they shelf a lot of things that are meant to happen. You know what I'm saying? And they say, oh, put it here because maybe they're worried about Pharrell's music coming out, and that's what's popular. And now the other two bands that are coming out, of artists, they shelf it for a little while, and now that guy's sitting and he can't do what he can't make the money he's making, because they say, no, you gotta wait. It's just not the right time for you because they're doing this. And now you sit back and you sit for a whole year and your album is sitting there.